and welcome back to another edition of the Michigan Conservative Roundtable. My name is Mac, and today I'm going to talk about the potential war with Russia and perhaps China and perhaps the whole world over the Ukraine and what might be driving it. So before I get into that, I want to ask you to subscribe, and more importantly than subscribing even is commenting, because that helps us with engagement and it helps us move up on the view list, which will of course get us more views and then therefore hopefully more subscribers. So it's really important that you comment. And plus we want to hear from you as well. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do book reviews of two authors we've actually had on this show. One being Charles Martin Cosgrove, otherwise known as Marty, and his series of books, science fiction, and a book written by Professor Dan Laufer, who is a deacon in the Catholic Church, and he's got a book on saving your soul or searching your soul. I forget the title of it off the top of my head, but it's a really great book. I read it, and I would encourage everyone to read it, but I'll talk about that a bit more down the road. So, rumors of war, that's what we're talking about. Joe Biden has as much as invited Vladimir Putin to go into the Ukraine, using a phrase such as minor incursion. Of course, that's not the case if you live in the Ukraine. It looks like Mr. Putin would like to put the band back together, the old Soviet Union band. And you know what? They won't stop at the Ukraine. They'll go on to all the Slavic countries, Poland and such, and they're just gonna roll over Joe Biden and the rest of the world in the next 3 years. And the Chinese will take advantage of us if we weaken ourselves by getting into that conflict. I don't believe the American people want that. I think that perhaps they might want to give the Ukraine aid, but I don't think we want a war with Russia, because if things get out of hand, it could be the loss of billions of lives at the scale that we can do war at now. It's very bad. So who are some other people who... I'll tell you first, let me get into why Joe would want the war. Because you'll not be focused anymore on his incompetent boob job that he has become. He is just completely incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. His anger problems really concern me when... And I think the military should obey the commander-in-chief, but I really would hope people would not let him launch nukes. You know, they wanted to say that Trump was going to get us into Third World War. Oh, we're all going to die. Except for none of that happened. Trump is an anti-war guy. He doesn't think we belong in everyone else's business. Now, we don't live on this planet alone, so, you know, we can't let the house next door to us catch on fire thinking it's not going to be a problem for us, because that's just not how things work. We're all in this game together, somewhat at least. Communism, I don't believe, has given up its goal of ruling the world. There are people who have great interest, the deep state being one. They would make a lot of money, billions and billions and billions of dollars. And they couldn't give less than a damn if your son or daughter dies in some senseless war that we really don't need to be part of. They're not part of NATO. So I don't want to say they're on their own, but it's their job to save their country. We can give them aid and supplies, but that's as far as I would be willing to go at this point. Although, you know, we got to stop communism somewhere. And, you know, Putin, I don't think he ever stopped being a communist. I don't see any evidence of it. I know they pretended to fold up shop, you know, after President Reagan and Pope John Paul II and Margaret Thatcher put the hammer down on him and made him go bankrupt. But that's another story. You got the war machine, and Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was president at the time, tried to warn the American people about the military-industrial complex, what they were capable of. And it's all about the money. And, you know, what we've been through for the last 2 years, I would tell you, is all about the money. They didn't care who died along the way. They were necessary to achieve this goal. And that's what they think of you. You're as disposable as a Dixie cup that they would take in their hand and crush and toss away. That's the truth. So I'm hoping someone in the White House will advise this man not to go there. Some have speculated that they would like to get us in a war with Russia and China, basically fold up the tent, let them win. They'll take over the country. That's the pedal to the metal to totalitarian communism around the world. Because if the United States is not here to stop them, no one will. They know this. We're the only obstacle to the Great Reset and to the one world government that they all want. The Bushes were part of this. The Clintons are part of this. They're all fine. They're going to do dandy. George W. can run around hugging both of Mr. Obamas. He makes me sick. But before I don't want to digress here. I just want to let you know that I thank you for watching today. And please leave us a comment. What do you think? Will you allow your son or daughter to go to war so these people can stuff their already rich pockets? I don't think I would. With that, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.